Hi everybody, Danger Devils What Ifs here, and today I'm gonna be starting my third part to What If Deku had an half and half quirk. So let's get started. Woo! And if you don't remember where we left off when Izuku and Shoto were just preparing for tomorrow for the entrance exam. And you heard me right, entrance exam. They didn't want to go through the recommendation route, as their friend Momoya Rozo did. So let's get back to the present. As you see two people sleeping in a bed, one on the right, one on the left. As you hear an alarm going off, as it goes, uh, 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 uh. As you just see the male smash it as it says, What's the time? As he sees it's 5:30, as he says. As he sees a reminder pop up as it says entrance exam. Today, 7 a.m. As he says, as he strokes his hair back, as he says entrance exam. As he looks around to see that the sun's already up, as he says, okay. As he opens the curtains, as he bathes in the sunlight, as he then looks around and sees that Shoto's still asleep in bed. As he goes to her and taps her and says and kisses her on her cheek, as she says, "I love, wake up. We have to get ready. The entrance exam is today, remember?" As she says, "Yes, I remember. Just too tired." As she's rubbing her eyes, as he says, "And how you feel? Maybe we shouldn't have watched a movie before we went to sleep." Yeah, you're possibly right about that. As Izuku says, "Well, I'm gonna go and take a bath. You just lie down on the bed up until you're fully awake." Jada says, "Okay," as she's rubbing her eyes. "This is so cool. Please set some clothes on the bed so he can wear clothes that he's gonna wear when he comes out of the shower." As he heads in, as he starts to wash his hair and does the rest. As we skip 2 minutes later, Shoro gets up out of bed, says, "Izu, yeah, Shoro? You're still tired?" "Yeah, just a bit," she says. "I'm gonna go and make some food. So what do you want?" As he says, "Kitsudan, you and your Kitsudan." As he says, "Hey, sure. If you know I got Kitsudan, you know I got Kitsudan. Can't argue with that logic, I guess," she says. As she goes downstairs, as she starts to cook, as Izuku comes out of the shower, as he dries himself, wraps his towel around his waist, and puts on his flops, as he starts to walk out and he starts to get changed into his clothes. These are the clothes which Izuku will be wearing. This is what Izuku will be wearing. He'll be wearing this. He has the headphones. It's because he likes to listen to music while he sleeps. That's why he has a face mask, so he can sleep whenever he gets the chance to. And I'm sorry if I yawn a lot. I just woke up, and I'm probably gonna post this in the morning around maybe 10 p.m. So yeah, a.m. I mean. So yeah, let's go back to the one. And if I never mentioned this before, Izuku does have an earring on his left ear, as you can see in the picture. As Izuku starts to walk downstairs, As he goes behind Shoto, wraps his arm around her waist, lays his chin on her shoulder as he rests his head against hers, as he says, "Hello, beautiful. How are you today, princess?" As he kisses her on the cheek, she says, "Just fine." As he says, "Okay, I'll handle the cooking from here. You go and take your shower." She says thanks to him as she hands him the a scalpel to turn the food, as she walks upstairs and says, as she blows her heart to him, as she kisses it onto her and blows it to him, he says, "Love you." He says, "Love you too." As she's in the shower getting ready, as she comes out, dries herself up, and these are the clothes which she will be wearing. These are the clothes which she'll be wearing. As she comes downstairs, as she sees that the food is ready on the table and the drinks are, as she sees the glasses, as she brings out a jug of orange juice, as he goes up to her, kisses her on the forehead and says, "Hello, my queen. How are you? Didn't you just kiss me when I just went to go to a shower? It's only been a few minutes." "Yes, but to me it feels like an eternity." As he clenches his hand where his heart is, and she says, "Stop being over dramatic." He says, yeah, come on, let's sit down and eat," he says. As Izuku says, "You ready for the entrance exam?" She says, "Yep, ready." "So, how do you think things are gonna go? We already know we're gonna pass." As he says, "That's understandable." As they finish their food, Izuku locks the door as he gets the car keys, as he chooses one of the cars, as he spins the car keys in his finger and says, "Okay, let's go." As he stops and holds the keys, as they go into the garage, as they switch off the lights before they go in, as Zuko then opens the car, as he goes to the passenger seat, opens the door and says, "Only Her Highness can go first." As he bows down, as she says, "You really know how to add some drama into things, you know? Only when it involves my queen." As he says, as he kisses her, as she says, "Well, at least the king knows how to be respectful to his queen." As he kisses back, as he closes the door, as he goes into the driver's seat, as if you're wondering what they will be driving in, this is what they will be driving in. I chose this car from a selection of few because it looks futuristic and the MHA is a bit more advanced than us, as you could see in it. So yeah, here we go. As Izuku opens the garage door, as he drives into the driveway, as he closes the garage door, as the gate opens, he drives out, the gate closes right behind them, as he starts to drive to UA. As while they're talking, Shoro says, "Do you think they're gonna stick with the normal test, or are they gonna change it up this year?" "Probably sticking with the normal test." "Oh, okay. So just robots and a test." Momo already said that she got in, so we don't have to worry about her. Now we just have to get the points, get this over with, wait a few more weeks, and we go, he says, as they get to in front of UA, as he parks the car. As people who are walking into UA and on the street look and see this car, as they're thinking, "Dang, dude, I wonder who's driving that car." As people say, are thinking this, as Izuku gets out, as he's spinning the car keys in his on his index finger, as he closes the car, as the girls are thinking, dang, dude, that guy is so hot. I wish I could be his girlfriend. As if you're wondering, yes, they still wear their rings. And the guy's thinking, dang, that dude's so cool. As he goes to the passenger seat, opens it, Shoto steps out. As he closes the door behind her, as he locks the car, as the guys are thinking, dang, she looks so beautiful. As the girls are thinking, are they together? I hope not. They could be siblings. They both have white hair. Maybe not. Please. As Zuko holds out his hand, as Shoto holds his hand, as they intertwine their fingers as they walk into the UA grounds, as every boy and girl who are thinking that just right now are thinking in their heads, why? Why? Why do the hot guys and the hot girls always have to get together? Why? Why do you treat us unequally, God? Why? Are we too ugly in our souls just to not have a nice body? Some of the people are thinking this. As they're walking in, they sit down. As President Mike comes and starts to explain the 1, 2, and 3 pointer, describing that it gets bigger every time and more difficult to take down the robot the higher the point. As while this is happening, Izuku and Shota are talking. As Izuku says, there are two ways. There's one way we can both win, which is the same way for both of us, either stabbing eyes through them or creating objects of eyes to pierce them or slice them in half. Or I could short circuit them with water if I cause a wave, or you can just melt them with your flames. Either way, we could pass pretty much easily, and we could rush in fast by me using my water to make a small wave behind me, pushing me faster, while you use light on ice as your fire pushes you forward. And she says, you're corrected there, right there. But at least we don't have to worry about the written exam. That part should be fairly easy if I do say so myself. Yes, so far Mom has the highest score, but I think I can beat her easily. You've always been top grade in our class, so I bet you could beat her. I was always third. Yeah, it's because you mostly focus on your quirk and don't focus on studies. It's not that you don't focus on studies, it's just that you don't really have an interest in it as I do. Yes, I don't have an interest in it as you do because I'm not obsessed with the way water works and the way it works in the air in human bodies as you. So that's why I don't study physics, science, and maths, geography as much as you. You got a point there. As during this time they were just whispering, as they're still paying attention to what President Mike is saying. As President Mike was about to talk about the seed pointer, as a boy with blue hair, we all know who this is. It's Iida. So let's just call him Iida. Okay, yeah, he's Iida. As a boy with blue hair steps up, as he says, "Sir, I have a question. Over here in the pamphlet, it shows 4 robots, and if this is a mistake or an auto print, then I'm fairly horrified at the mistake this prestigious school such as UA made. And you two over there, if you would stop talking, If you could stop talking, you'd stop being a distraction to everyone here. As Zuko stands up and says, well, if you were paying attention to us and listening to us as everyone else wasn't, as you can obviously that they didn't want even bother by us talking, you would understand that we're thinking of a way to get more points so that we can enter UA, which meaning we are taking it seriously as well as paying attention to President Mike. And if you looked on the pamphlet or had the decency to wait for him to finish, you would know that it's a zero pointer, which is just a massive robot to be an obstacle in a person's way, so that they don't get much more points as they are required to. As Izuku sits down, as everyone says, "Burn!" As President Mike says, "Thank you, examinee number 7464. No problem." As Iida sits down in humiliation after that, because his roles were just turned right back at him as he sits down in humiliation. As President Mike says, examining number 8102, examining number 7464 is correct about me, about to explain about the zero pointer and about it showing on the pamphlet. As he says, sorry for my misunderstanding. He says, as President Mike says, well, that's all that I have right now up until you take the practical exam. So go beyond, plus ultra, he shouts as he walks out. As they go to a room, as they sit down, as they start to take the test, as Izuku gets first place with Momo in second, as Todoroki with the third highest score. As when they go out, they get a card with their names on it, showing what city block they are supposed to go to. As Izuku and Shota are walking side by side, as Shota says, "I got city block A." I got city block B. Seems you are correct, Shota, about them going to split us up so that we don't work together with people we're familiar with. As Shota says, "I'm always right. Always. What about that time?" Nah. We don't talk about that time." As Zuko goes and says, sure. As he kisses her on the forehead, as she kisses him on the cheek, as she says, "Love you. See you when this test is over." As she says, "Same to you." As they both go to the buses, as they sit down, as they drive to their city block, as Izuku is walking to the front when this bitch head puts his hand on his shoulder and says, "I don't think you should go up to that girl. As you can see, she's trying to concentrate on the exam." As Izuku looks at him with a dumbfounded face, as he says, "Do you really think I was going to that girl when I could go after other people who look much more stronger than her? Look at that big guy over there. You could obviously see he has a super strength quirk. Why wouldn't I go after him? Huh? Or that girl over there with the red hair. You can obviously tell that she has a fire quirk, which could melt down the robots easily. So why do you assume I would go to someone who doesn't even look like who looks pretty much nervous and looks like buck,